You left the Corvette, all the papers this week.
Well, yes, there was several stories. One was that I fled to Mexico, which I would never do, because why would I go to Mexico? Their food is real.
Why?
But
where
one
was
story
the
is I was in Canada. And
where was the Corvette found?
Corvette was found on a winding road called Nicholas Canyon. And
you had rented it?
No, I own it.
You own it?
There was a lot of misinformation about this situation. And my security guard was driving me home from my recording session. We were remaking a song called Highway to Hell, of all songs. And what happened is we were coming on the corner and the wheels hydroplaned out from under us. It was kind of a slick curve. And we went up in the side of a mountain and we ended up between this pole. And a car came by behind us and they broke out the window and got us both out. And fortunately, we had seat belts on, and the only scratch I had was this. And we went up and called AAA, which is on the records, so...
You know what, the police found it later?
Well, they were there in like 10 or 15 minutes, and, you know...
Then what was the big deal?
Then the thing was like, yes, Kinison sought for investigation, and abandoned automobile. It was like, you know,
yeah,
anybody else would have been just, oh, all right.
Or do you react angrily when something like that? I mean, that's
well,
a kind
that's
of
the price of, you know, fame, I guess, or looking like somebody that would be a troublemaker, which I'm not. I'm a mild-mannered, calm guy.
So in other words, if you want to play this game, that's the results you got to get.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you look like you're, you know, lead guitarist for Motley Crue, you know, you're gonna look like that. So.
Were you a serious minister?
Yeah, I was. I just have kind of a relationship with God, you know. It's kind of like Colonel Sanders' fried chicken. It's got several secret herbs and spices.
Why did you leave it? That was a good moneymaker, wasn't it?
I became disillusioned. I was never into the offering side of it. You know, I'd put out a basket and I'd say, hey, if I've blessed you and you want to bless me, here's the basket. I didn't do very well, actually.
You were not a good minister.
No, well, not financially. I didn't rake in the bucks. This is before the big satellite boom. You could have your own TV station, your own channel.
And you left it, why? Because it wasn't proving fruitful?
Well, I got a divorce, and it was like 1978. And I sat my family down Christmas time. I said, you know, I'm leaving the ministry. And they thought I was going through a phase. And they said, well, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to be a comedian. They went, you know, yeah, sure. I said, no, really, I'm gonna try to be a stand-up comic. I think I can make people laugh. I've made them laugh in church, and if you can make people laugh in church, you can make them laugh anywhere, I think.
Do you like your image?
Yeah, I do.
How would you describe it? I mean,
it's very ominous, actually. A lot of people don't know a lot about me. This is maybe the most candid I've been, I think, in any interview, you know?
Well, I'm glad to hear that. People get afraid of you, or people say, Sam Kinison's on tonight. Someone said to me, Sam Kinison's on tonight. I said, I'm looking forward to meeting him. You know what I mean? Like, they acted out of fear.
I wonder why I had to go through that metal detector and I was frisked.
That I should be concerned you would do something bizarre? Is that
I don't understand that, because I've done Letterman, I've done Carson, I've done Married with Children. Anything I've ever done, I've always worked within the boundaries of.
I know.
And, but they think I'm going to say, you know, some of those words that you shouldn't say or something like that, but I'm a little smarter than that.
You're a professional.
Yeah, I respect the medium, you know, whatever it is.
Are you happy?
Yeah. Yeah, I had some tragedy in my life about 1.5 years ago, but I'm dealing with it pretty well. My little brother passed away. It was kind of a, you know,
this album, Leader of the Band.
Yeah.
This is music?
One half of it is. And the other half is, I think, my most, I think it's my best work. I think it's my best work as a stand-up yet.
Recorded where?
At Bally's in Las Vegas.
Oh, that big house then.
Yeah, I wanted to do an album in Las Vegas, a comedy album. I don't know when the last time a comedian has actually recorded in a casino.
I bet it's been 25 years.
I bet it has.
And I go back to early big Vegas days.
And I thought this is kind of an interesting angle, you know. And plus I was, you know, I make a joke about being family entertainment, of course, which I'm not, but, you know.
And on the music side, are you doing voiceovers?
I'm singing it, yeah.
You're the singer?
I'm the singer. I can sing.
We'll take some calls for Sam Kinison, Lakeside, Iowa. Hello.
Sam, you're probably one of the funniest comedians I've ever heard, but I feel guilty once in a while laughing at your bizarre stories like playing a corpse in a mortuary. Where do you draw the line on the lewdness of your jokes?
Well, that particular joke was actually a true story that I was told out here by a limo driver for a funeral home. And when he told it to me, it just blew my mind. It was like one of the most horrifying images I'd ever had. It never occurred to me somebody would do that to a corpse after they were dead. And it just stuck, it hung with me for a couple of weeks.
So you decided to tell it
and I thought,
comedically.
wait a second, how can I get the audience to feel that same shock thing and then pull a joke out of it? And it took about a year and a half to find an angle to where you could actually pull a joke out of it, which was to take the corpse's point of view and go, oh, hey. You know.
Sam Kinison's our guest. Yes, that's a good way to
That was
look at
close, it was close.
The corpses.
Anti-gay humor that Sam tells is something that he just does for humor, or whether it's a reflection of his own personal.
Fair question, Sam.
Well, it's definitely part of our society. I made one joke and I said that they say heterosexuals die of AIDS too. Name one. And I throw the mic out in the audience, you know. It was like Capital of Vermont. You know, it was...
Vermont.
Yeah, you know, it was just like one of those things, and I thought it was like, a reasonable joke, and a step towards family entertainment.
Heterosexuals die of it too, name one.
Yeah.
And off that one joke, you are known as a gay basher?
I became a gay basher, and all of a sudden I was, you know,
Are you saying
targeted by these heterosexual groups, and...
Anti-heterosexual. Do you now do more gay humor because of...
No, matter of fact, in my next album, I did some medically correct jokes, because they said my jokes weren't medically correct in my last album, which I remember when I went to medical school to write jokes, that was one of the big rules, was not to do any medically incorrect jokes. So my next album has medically correct jokes about AIDS.
Anaheim, California, hello.
Hi, how you doing?
Hi.
Sam, I think in your routines, your social commentary is great, and I hope a lot of people really pick up on it as much as I hope they do.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you what you thought about Andrew Dice Clay and what happened at the MTV Awards and that whole mishap and him being banned. Do you think that he really didn't act appropriately, or
what do you think, Sam?
I think he was very unprofessional, and I think he's a jerk. I've known him for about 10 years, and I think he's like the Morton Downey Jr. of comedy. He'll be a big mouth for about a year, and then he'll burn out. There's not a lot of love between us. He ripped off some of my jokes, and all you have to do is play my album from 1986 and his current album, and you can find 2 or 3 jokes that I did back years ago, and all he did was reiterate them. So I can't wait for his career to die out like Larry Storch.
Larry Storch? Other than that, you're crazy about this guy, right?
Yeah, other than that.
And what he did was unprofessional.
Is there
anything you like about him?
No, nothing.
Okay.
I mean, he's like a combination. If you took Fonzie's jacket, Stallone's attitude, and my jokes and put them in a blender, and
that's him.
That's him. So I don't care much for
Are
him.
you still in love with Jessica Hahn? Were you ever in love with Jessica Hahn?
I was never in love. We had a short affair because checkout time was 2. But, well, she's an interesting person.
She's not dull.
Not dull.
We'll return with Sam Kinison. And
Yeah, Sam. You want to talk about who's wide? And
well, nobody said I was thin.
Hey,
nobody
listen.
said I was thin.
Sam, let me just remind
Like,
you.
I don't even want to talk to you.
Yeah,
What
I
is
didn't
she-
think so.
So
Larry,
we both agree never to speak to each other again.
Hold on, Sam. What do you wish
I
to say,
hate her.
Jessica? Hold
Well-
on, Jessica.
Larry, I mean, the guy goes into Las Vegas. He does a 10-minute act to me. He slanders me. You know, you can expect a call from
Slanders
my
you?
lawyer.
What do you...
Yes, Sam, you don't
Well,
want me
get
to...
a lawyer.
Yeah,
Get a
well,
lawyer.
you're a spineless, talentless has-been. You talk about Dice. Dice will make it way before you do, Sam.
Good. Anything else to add?
What went wrong between you two?
His big mouth.
Sam.
Well, let's don't talk about big orifices of the body.
Hey, let me tell you something, Larry. When my mother died, the guy got on the phone and started screaming at me over the air on the Howard Stern show. And, you know, the guy has no class. And, I mean, I thought he was a great comedian, but anymore, his stuff is old. Your material's old. You're old.
Listen, why don't you find a life?
Why don't you find
And
a life?
leave me and Jim Baker alone,
Yeah.
all right?
Why don't you,
Get a career. Get on a soap opera or something. All you
Sam,
do is kiss and tell. That's your whole life.
No, Sam, that's what you do
That's
on
your whole
stage.
life, Jessica. Get a
that's-
job.
Sam,
Go
you
to
make,
car wash.
You make thousands of dollars
You know, be a
night.
cashier at a car wash or something, you know? Do something constructive.
Sam, you make thousands
Instead of making all this money kissing
Stephen,
and
I mean,
telling.
Larry, he makes thousands. Larry, he makes hundreds of thousands
Now,
of
why
dollars
would I want to spend a lot of
using
time
other
with this
people's
woman, Larry? You tell
problems
me.
What a
for
way
his
to end
material.
our week in L.A. Just keep going, Jessica. Thank
He
you,
uses,
Sam.
he uses other
Thank you,
people.
Larry.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you.
Jessica.
Thank you,
Sam.
Jessica.
Thank you,
For
Sam.
all the memories.